Hi friends, it's Kate. Today I'm going to read you a story about a little girl named Scarlet who has some struggles. There are no pictures to this story, so as I read it, you can either close your eyes and imagine your own pictures, or you can keep your eyes open. But either way, think about how you might draw this story. Here we go. It's called Scarlet's Rainbow. Scarlet was sitting in her bed one morning, feeling cheery and pondering the pessimistic plum paint on her walls. Today, she wasn't feeling purple and was in the mood for something brighter, more joyful. So, like she did every day for as long as she could remember, she got out her paintbrush and a fresh can of paint and began to paint her wall, this time a gleeful green. There wasn't much space to move around in her room anymore, so she had to balance very carefully on her bed rails to reach the highest corners. Losing her footing, Scarlet slipped and fell, catching herself with her paintbrush. When it punctured the protruding painted plaster, she plunged perilously, finally plopping onto her pillow. Poof! Scarlet began to cry. She wasn't feeling very gleeful anymore, and now her paint, her green paint, was all wrong. Perhaps a raging red, or a disappointing denim. But through her glistening tears, Scarlet saw a glimmer, a shiny twinkle coming from inside her wall. It was the optimistic opal she had painted last week. Scarlet sat up, took a deep breath in, and let it out. Then she pulled out the paintbrush, which left quite a cavernous cranny. Scarlet eyed inside. She could see hints of the sunny school bus yellow, the gloomy gray, the furious fuchsia she had painted on in years past. The more she chipped away, the more colors she saw. Boring beige, comforting cantaloupe, inspiring indigo. Scarlet kept peeling and scraping until she revealed all the layers she had applied over the years. She stood on her bed, breathed in deeply, and for the first time in a long while, outstretched her arms and twirled, marveling at her very own beautiful rainbow. The end. This is a story I wrote for my son. He really has he struggles with some things, and I think we all struggle with some things, right? I've struggled with things. We all struggle with feeling our emotions, and sometimes our emotions get really big. And sometimes our emotions feel like they're closing in on us, and everything in our lives feels hard, and sometimes we can feel trapped. And so that was what was happening with Scarlet, is she used paint to express her emotions. And over time, the paint grew bigger and bigger and bigger, and her walls started to close in. And as soon as she started to kind of peel away and poke holes in all that paint, she could start to see that life was more than one big, scary emotion at a time. There was depth to it, and more she could see that there were hopeful times and happy times, and also she remembered that she had scary times and she got through them. So this story, I think, has some lessons for all of us. And one of the things that we Unitarians talk about is the inherent worth of all people. And part of that has to do with acknowledging our emotions and being okay with how we can move in and out of our emotions, right? Anyway, I also liked writing this story because it had some fun words and some fun alliteration. And I really loved kind of tapping into how Scarlet was feeling and the different ways that Scarlet could feel. So take this story, think about how you feel every day, day to day, week to week, even minute to minute. Sometimes we feel really happy one minute, and then the next minute we feel very scared or very sad or very alone. And how do you find yourself getting through those scary, sad, alone feelings? I know you all have ways to do it, and I would love to talk with you about your strategies one of these days. So let's be in touch. I love you, I miss you, and we will see you on Sunday.